The art styles they have on these heroes are insane. Let's get into what they can do though, because we got a lot to read over, and some of these are very, very powerful. I think this guy's battle skill is going to be insanely powerful, and he's a new burn hero to go with all those other burn heroes from season 2. Here, he's got a passive ability to deal fire damage. It's not derivative damage, so it can crit to all nearby enemies every 3 seconds with a 100% chance to apply burn. When a target's inflicted with burn, this hero gains morale up to 20 stacks. When possessing 20 stacks, he gives 20 stacks of morale to all burn allies. All burn allies will get 20% additional attack. This is a huge addition to burn, since burn is already really strong, as long as the melee can come in there and do some damage, right? We have Eracius, which is an epic. We can only have 10 stacks of burn on an enemy, but once he does his ultimate, removes all those 10 stacks, it's insane damage. Just like Ashe, the legendary, the exclusive legendary, is immensely powerful. Now we're taking all of our burn heroes and we're giving them 20% additional attack along with this guy, and this guy's applying a lot of burns, and that's just a passive. When hitting the enemies with burn, the next battle skill recharge time is reduced by 50%. That goes from 10 seconds down to 5 seconds. Why wouldn't there be a burn up? There's gonna be a burn up just from this guy alone because he's applying burn so much. That means every 5 seconds he's doing this battle skill. We load him up with enlightenment. This can still crit, so we can do crit rate, critical damage, and we just worry about increasing this as much as we can. Something like the statue, if you wanted to use that artifact that gives 20% additional damage to a battle skill, would work well on this guy. Obviously, legendary artifacts if you have them, but if we need to use that, sure, go ahead. I'm telling you right now, that battle skill is what's going to be doing the damage, because here we don't even have anything to give us additional enlightenment damage. It's just 450% of attack. We've got a 100% chance to apply a burn. When hitting enemies under burn, he then does 600% derivative damage. I don't know of a hero that hits this hard derivative damage. Now, this can't crit. This is just derivative damage. So yes, lots of attack on this guy, lots of enlightenment on him. We just keep lacing them with this battle skill over and over. 5-second cooldown, lots of damage there from enlightenment as well, and then damage here. I think this guy's going to be fun. I mean, I don't even care if he's not top tier. He just looks like he's going to be top tier, so I want him. Another burn legendary. This cat's got a lot of stuff. Dealing damage here based off of a fire. Again, we can crit with this one to all enemies on the battlefield at the start. So you just zone in and you're dealing this damage to everyone on the battlefield at the very start with a 100% chance to inflict 3 stacks of burn for 10 seconds. When burn inflicted on any enemy expires or is dispelled, the hero gains this sparkle stack. Man, they like sparkle. Sparkle tournament, sparkle right here for this thing. For each stack of sparkle, the hero gains 0.5% damage reduction, while the hero's skill ignores 3% of the target's defense. Now, we need to test this on the test server because I don't see, there's a comma. It says right there, for each stack of sparkle, comma, the hero gains 0.5% damage reduction, which is great. Looks like a melee hero, so we're going to need damage reduction. But it also says 3% of defense. 30 stacks. That's 90% defense. I find that kind of hard to believe, but you never know. If we're ignoring 90% defense with our skills, obviously this hero is going to hit really hard. There's a 60% chance for basic attacks to inflict burn for 10 seconds. And then here, this is the test server. This is just showing burn twice for some reason. Plus, this hero heals itself on its battle skill by 25% of its max HP. The hero who possesses the most stacks of burn grants the same amount of sparkle to this hero, up to 5 stacks, and then this hero deals damage to them. So whoever who has the most burn, it's going to jump over there and attack, possessing the most burn, same amount, and then give them more sparkle, up to 5 before it hits, is kind of how I'm reading this. The most, right there, it attacks the person with the most stacks of burn. We'll have to see how that plays out. I like a hero that can heal itself. I like a hero that can mitigate damage. And then on top of that, if this hero is ignoring 90% defense or anywhere near like high defense ignoring, then it's going to be sweet. Again, this is a test server, so this could be a little misleading. We will test this out in the following days. I'm going to be streaming like a madman, so look for me over there on Twitch. We'll be testing all this with full gear, Vortex Boss, Test Dummy. We're going through all the new dungeons, everything. We deal damage here based off of fire to the enemies who possess burn. The hero additionally gains 20% attack up. The burn inflicted by fire and stone ignores resistance in the next 15 seconds. Fire and stone. This is this. So the burn inflicted with this, we don't need accuracy. Okay, this is good. Again, they're making heroes like you want to see heroes made. You don't need accuracy on this hero because once this ultimate goes off for the next 15 seconds, we can ignore resistance. And you don't want to have high accuracy on somebody that's your attack class. You don't want to have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about applying debuffs. You just want to do damage. And with this, we can do damage. We'll see how this one plays out. I don't know. I like the guy on the horseback better, depending on if this really is ignoring so much defense and if we're going to get serious damage. But healing yourself, damage mitigation, there's a lot going on with these new burn heroes. That's it for the 2 new fire legendaries. We've got a fire epic, and then I believe, no, 2 fire epics, and I think we have a fire rare down here. So this is another cat, which I think looks way cooler. I like this guy's aesthetic with the big old mace. When this hero tries to inflict a debuff or control effect on the enemy, the effects are resisted or invalidated. If the effects are resisted or invalidated, the hero instead gains 15 max HP and has a 100% chance to inflict fear for 3 seconds. This skill only takes effect once every 10 seconds. Now, we could give him low accuracy, and of course, he would not be able to apply whatever he's trying to apply, and we would fear somebody. But it's only every 10 seconds, so I'm pretty sure we're going to want to. But if we do get resisted, we get healed by 15% of max HP, but only every 10 seconds, and we get a fear off for 3 seconds. Even though the ally, the enemy is feared, they still regen their ultimate gauge. It's not like a stun. So it's cool. I mean, it's a passive. This guy's an epic, so it's still really cool that they're adding all this additional. You know, we used to look at people's passives and it'd be small. It would just say something really small, or maybe they don't have anything really, really cool associated with the passive. These are actually pretty neat. 300% attack to the target and nearby enemies with a 100% chance to apply recharge speed penalty after dealing damage if the enemy's HP is lower than 60%. Additionally, reduce their ultimate by 20%. And it's a 3x3. Here we're dealing damage based off of max HP. I like this too. We got an epic hero that we can load up with a whole bunch of HP, kind of make them like a bruiser. They're not doing crazy damage up front, but over time, they're doing damage, and they might have a lot of HP to try to stay alive, absorb some of those hits, and then with this, we have a 100% chance to inflict taunt on them for 5 seconds. There's a 100% chance to inflict attack penalty if we apply the taunt. This is fire. We already have Horus in here with a lot of provoking. I don't know if we need another guy like this, but it is different. I mean, Horus is more of a meat shield. He absorbs all the damage from everybody with all the shields he does, damage reduction that he does, low cooldown on his ultimate. But this is pretty cool. I mean, debuff, what debuff or control, then he'll be healed. I wish there wasn't a cooldown on this because I'd like to be resisted multiple times and get maybe 45% max HP heal. And then here we're going to do recharge speed penalty, which is immensely strong against anything. And then on this one, we do an AoE provoke of a 3x3 square. And if we get the provoke, we do attack penalty. Not as cool as the other ones to me. I think there's a lot of heroes that can fill kind of this role, but we'll have to see what kind of, maybe his damage is high enough that he's like an offensive version of somebody that can provoke for us. Kind of like an Urgander. Urgander does 10% of max HP plus does a big old provoke. I don't know. We'll see how he works out. Not as excited about him as I am about others. Oh no, possessed Chucky doll. Look at this head. They'll fix this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I feel like my computer is going to get possessed right now. When dealing damage to enemies under burn, remove 3 stacks of burn from them and deal 150 of attack. They can crit. This skill only takes effect once every 3 seconds. Remove 3 stacks of burn. We can only get 10 stacks total. Removing 3 stacks to do this little bit of damage. Obviously, you wouldn't want to play her with somebody like Aracius, the epic that takes away burns and does massive damage. We need 10 stacks. Or you wouldn't want to play with Ashe, the exclusive that does the same thing. You want to keep those stacks up and ready for them. Shoot bullets that bounce 4 times. 100% chance to apply burn. Okay. Shoots 3 bullets, each dealing 200% fire damage to enemies within range. When enemies hit under burn, we deal additional 125%. Okay, so that's 600% if they don't have burn on, but if they do have burn on, that's 975%. That's a pretty good hit for an ultimate. And it's a laser beam, so we could get a lot of people in there. I say pretty good. It's not like it's going up to like 1800, like Usha. Whenever there's frost up, Usha will do 1800% of attack. If it was that, then I would be I don't think it's going to be enough damage, but it's fun to test all this, so I'm excited for that. Now we've got this really posh lizard. I feel like this lizard is from Shakespearean times. Like he's going to talk to me like that, right? Quote me some Shakespeare there, lizard. When inflicting debuffs or control to enemies, the hero reduces their ultimate by 15%. When their ultimate is reduced to 0, the hero obtains extra 20% ultimate energy. So we got to zero them out. They got to be low already, or we got to push them back enough to zero them out, which I think is kind of hard, but 20% ultimate is a big jump. We just have to inflict debuffs or control. Now, there were some artifact sets, gear sets, that let us inflict a debuff. If this counts toward this, then we could definitely slap that on him or something. Oh, we've got, does he have a multi-hit ultimate? If this hit multiple times, we could obviously get decreased defense up with a number of artifacts, but this only hits once. With a 100% chance to apply recharge speed penalty. I like it. He's recharge speed penalty. He's melee. Recharge speed penalty is always nice. I don't know where we'd use him though. AoE move, okay damage, recharge speed penalty, big deal. Where's he trying to apply debuffs? One here, we can try to knock back their ultimate. And then here in a control, we can try to knock back their ultimate. But for a boss, we can't stun them. So that's just going to be trying to knock back their ultimate gauge. Whenever we apply recharge speed penalty, it's only going to be by 15%, but it might be enough to keep them locked down. Especially with recharge speed penalty, it's going to be enough to keep them locked down a bit so you can get all your moves in 18 seconds on your 20-second cooldowns. Still, though, not really super happy. He's a rare, though. Okay, I'm actually happy. He's a rare that can do all this. I don't mind that at all. He does look funny to me, though. He makes me kind of laugh. That's all the fire ones. Let's jump over to the poison. I don't think I missed anything. We looked at this guy. I mean, the ones that look the best so far are obviously her. We'll try her out for damage. We'll try this one out for damage. I think these two can do, if this one's ignoring so much defense and this one's battle skill is going crazy like I think it's going to go, these two are going to be a lot of fun to play. Poison's really cool because this one down here, this is our Chief Challenge legendary that we can all go after and get, and she looks broken. I'm talking about like Ardrith broken. You know how powerful Ardrith is from season 2. This girl looks just as good, and we can all go after her at the 30-day mark, right? When we fight all the chief challenges for that full month, that's the one we're going to go for. You can see it over in the event page, so I'm really happy for that. This guy, Hal, looks great. This whole game looks great. This bird is amazing. I think the bird's name is called Dark Cloud. Yeah, Dark Cloud here. So he summons this bird. I don't think it's a summon, so you don't have to worry about this dying. I'm pretty sure it's not a summon. He's feeding it somebody's heart as we speak right now, but he has Dark Cloud. He cannot gain attack speed. The actual hero cannot gain additional attack speed, but when he launches a basic attack, this pet will attack as well. If you know any ways we can get around that, let me know. Like, how can we get around increasing attack speed? Maybe there's some artifact out there that can give us additional hits so that the bird can do some additional hits. I don't know. Just let me know if you have any kind of ideas about getting around increasing his attack speed somehow so he can attack more often, and we can get this Dark Cloud to attack that has a 10% chance to inflict buff prohibition on enemies for 5 seconds. Buff prohibition by Dark Cloud depends on Hal's resistance. Every 10 resistance increases the chance by 1%. When Hal's on the battlefield, enemies' ultimate energy obtained through skills and artifacts will be reduced by 80%. Now, I don't think that's going to affect anything like our skill haste. If we have skill haste on there, it's not going to affect that. But if we have something that when we do something, it gives us 20% ultimate energy, this is going to reduce that by 80%. That alone is very strong. Could be very strong in an arena atmosphere where you can see over there that they've got certain abilities or certain skills. I don't know which boss we would play this against to make sure that they can't get that much ultimate energy increase. But this is from skills and artifacts, so I'm sure there's going to be some really good play in here, plus buff prohibition. And then we've got this pet coming in there and attacking with him. Commands Dark Cloud to deal damage with the highest attack, deal damage to the enemy with the highest attack with a 100% chance to apply attack penalty 2 on them for 5 seconds. And we get this oriented taunt on them for 3 seconds, every 10 seconds. This unit is forced to launch basic attacks on the enemy with the highest max HP. Now, I do love this. This guy does look like he's made to be kind of an arena champion, or maybe even if we're going up against Faye or somewhere where there's the pillar somebody's hitting us really hard, whoever has the highest attack, this guy's going to force them to attack probably our tank, whoever has our highest HP. He's going to immediately place attack penalty 2 on them for 5 seconds. Every 10 seconds, we can get that lower with skill haste. Pretty strong to make sure that we don't get blown away by the highest attack person, and he's going to command them to provoke or to go attack our highest HP. That alone is pretty strong, but it's single target, single target. We're getting more attacks with the bird. Buff prohibition, making sure they can't get any ultimate energy increase. Man, all about PvP, I feel like. 700% of attack, all enemies with 100% chance to apply recharge speed penalty and oriented charm on them for 10 seconds. Enemies' ultimate energy will be reduced by 20%. This guy's knocking back your ultimate. He's doing your whole entire team with recharge speed penalty, making them slow, 30% less recharge. And then he's forcing all of them, everybody, on the enemy team to then attack each other with their basic attacks. Force the target to launch basic attacks on the ally with the lowest max HP. That means he's forcing the whole entire team to all fold and attack whoever has the lowest HP. That is pretty wild. Plus, he's doing damage too. I mean, he's doing board-wide damage that everybody else does. He's slowing you down. He's knocking back your ultimate gauge. And for 10 seconds, forces the target to launch basic attacks on the ally with the lowest HP. For 10 seconds, everybody then is attacking. I mean, that could strip people that are in your back line attacking your guys. That makes them go all the way across the board and attack somebody else who has the lowest max HP possibly. It can make it so that obviously 4 of their other people could fold in on that one and kill that one person pretty easily. That seems wild. I mean, this seems very, very powerful. All of this seems immensely powerful. If I'm missing something here or not understanding something, definitely let me know in the comments below. But this does say that it attacks everyone, and we've got a 100% chance to apply all of these to all enemies. It doesn't just say one enemy, and then it says knock back their ultimate gauge. Strong. I like it. I like how unique these are. Our Chief Challenge Legendary. Not only does she look awesome, I can't wait to get her. I'm definitely going to get her. She also is an amazing healer based off of defense, just like Garius, just like anybody else we have out there. Furbath that's based off of defense healing, so we can make her tanky. We can get her to give all these heals, plus she gives you increased defense too. When we cast a skill, the battle skill or the ultimate, we get a temporary illusion of her. Now, I don't know how long it stays out, if it can be destroyed. It doesn't give us a time here, so we'll go test this. But whenever that illusion's out, we get an additional benefit. Here, she's gonna do dispel a debuff from each nearby ally and grant them recovery over time. This is a battle skill. If the illusion is out, she's then going to dispel one buff from the enemy, and then also a 50-75% chance to inflict charm on them for 3 seconds. Pretty strong if she's up in the mix. What she looks like, she's melee, so I think that's her like counterpoint to being so strong. She's going to be melee, so she's going to run up there inside all of the AoE and craziness that's going on. Like, we can't control her, you know, park her in the back corner and keep her out of all danger. She's going to be running up and doing all this stuff. And I think that illusion probably won't be able to be targeted. It's just that if it's out, we're going to get these additional benefits, which is still pretty strong because we're going to have insane defense on her. So I'm not too worried about her getting wrapped up. And we could have insane resistance on her as well. Because if we just want to make sure that we get recovery, remove a debuff, we go over here, we can strip a buff, so we are going to need accuracy for that. And if we want to charm, we're going to need accuracy for that as well. So it's going to be hard to get super high resistance with trying to get accuracy. But look at this heal. 550% of defense. Garius is 600% of defense. She's a little less, but she does grant everybody defense increase 2. 60% additional defense. This is like having Garius. It's a board-wide heal. Of course, if you put the staff on her, we get skill haste. We get a big old shield from doing all these heals. We load her up with as much defense as possible. Increase defense too. And then if the illusion is there, the illusion's going to attack the whole entire board. Unfortunately, it's based off of attack and not defense. So it's not going to be a hard-hitting move because we want to do heals here. And we've got a 100% chance to apply attack penalty 2 on the whole entire board. I feel like that's insanely strong. Vortex boss, anywhere. Fae, PvP, it doesn't matter. You get a massive heal, you get increased defense. If you want to apply decreased attack, which I'm sure you do, you get some accuracy, and we apply decreased attack on the whole entire board. So kind of like having Garius, but now we've got a Garius with decreased attack. We've got a Garius that actually has a battle skill heal now. Garius only has his ability to knock somebody up and then get that hit recovery on himself. So he's not healing with that battle skill. That's like the fall. That's like the pros and cons of Garius. He has an amazing heal, but he's got no battle skill in between heal to help people out. And he's amazing tank. But here we're going to have probably an amazing tank. Her defense is maybe like 100 less than Garius, and she heals for 50% less defense than Garius. But we've got recovery over time here. And then we've got this illusion to where she can remove a buff and charm something. This is insanely strong against anything we fight. Like all dungeons, easily insanely strong. I like it. It looks so damn cool. Let's go season 4. I can't wait. All right, now here is a poison guy that I think might be the way for poison to get damage on the Vortex boss. Might be a way for poison to blow away and get damage everywhere just based off of an epic. Now I know Lothair is the king, but Lothair is very hard to summon. He has a very low probability to summon. If you have him, he is awesome. You take him with Corrin, you get 40 stacks of poisons up. He keeps attacking with those 40 stacks. All enlightenment on him and does like just super high damage, crazy high damage. So if you're not playing Lothair, you should be. I'll get a video out for you if you need it. But this guy down here, he's a little bit different. For every stack of poison on the enemy, he will do a little additional derivative damage. Now it's not much, so I need to test this out. Right here, we're just doing a damage based off of attack. So we load him up with lots of attack and lots of enlightenment because we want to take advantage of this derivative damage. So we need high attack, high enlightenment. Then he gets an attack speed as well. But it says for every poison on. So we get up 40 stacks of poison with Corrin. We make sure we keep refreshing and keep those 40 stacks up. And we have this guy do his ultimate as often as possible with a lot of enlightenment. We can't crit on that enlightenment, but with 40 hits of this, maybe this guy is going to be the new damage dealer. Not going to be anything like Lothair, but still might be cool. Here, we get a chance to just do hits. We do poison. And then on this one, we've got a 60% chance to inflict poison on his basic attacks, which is all really strong. And we've got enlightenment on all battles, so he powers himself up with that enlightenment. But here, I can't wait to test this out. Attack speed increase of 50%, so he's applying more poisons. And then we just keep getting around to this as often as possible. 40 stacks up. We get 40 hits at 20% derivative damage. It's got to do some damage. Like, it's got to be something since we don't have anything good. Like, when have you seen a good poison team on the Vortex boss outside of Lothair? There just really isn't anything because poison stacks don't matter. That stack of poison on an enemy ticking for damage doesn't really matter much. A new epic support, which I feel kind of has some really good moves. This could be strong in the right situation. Whenever an ally takes AoE damage, you dispel 1 debuff from all allies every 5 seconds. How many bosses do AoE damage to us? Almost every single boss in the game. Vortex boss, I guess when we take AoE damage, I don't know. Vortex hits us a couple times on that third ability, right? The Maelstrom kind of ability. It comes in. Does he apply decreased defense on that first hit and then we take damage again? Because if that's the case, then this removes it right away. We don't have to wait to get hit by the ultimate and then remove it because it would be up for the ultimate. We'd be taking additional damage. If this removes it right away, that's going to be broken. Then yeah, we could bring her in if she's going to do something else, like bring damage or bring healing. Obviously, we don't want to bring her in just for that. We've got other ways to get around it. Here, we do a silence for 7.5 seconds. So almost 100% uptime on silence. And then we're doing damage and a cross-section attack, 100% chance to dispel 1 buff from them. And the hero also has a 100% chance to inflict heal prohibition and heal buff prohibition. So no more healing, 100% chance reduction, 100% reduction in healing, and they're not able to get buffs. So yeah, we wouldn't bring her in against the Vortex boss. She's not bringing enough for us. She's not a healer and she's not a damage dealer. I'm sure she's going to find play somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to level her up right away, but she does seem pretty interesting for an epic hero. I like the direction they're going with all these heroes. We've got a new poison rare, and I think that's it. When dealing damage to enemies, this hero has a 50% chance to inflict poison. You've noticed with all these new poison heroes, they're really giving them ways to inflict poison, to get those stacks of poison up because it's really hard. We don't have, like, we've got a lot of poison units, but they really don't have a high chance to keep applying poison. This guy's going to do it anytime he deals damage, a 50% chance to apply 1 stack. Strikes the enemy twice, each dealing damage. This hero gains attack speed up, more attacks, more poison stacks. Chance to inflict poison through his passive is increased by 100%, and then we deal 5 damage hits. So that's good. So all 5 of these hits are going to be at 100% chance to apply poisons. So that's 5 poisons on the ultimate, 2 poisons here if you're doing the battle skill within 10 seconds of doing this ultimate, and then anytime we deal damage, you know, while you're doing basic attacks during that whole time, not just these 5 hits for 10 seconds, you got a 100% chance to apply poisons. So I'm thinking somewhere like 10 poisons are going to be applied during that 10 seconds, which again, for a poison hero, that's pretty darn good. Is that a brawl on? Looks kind of funny. I think it is. That's awesome. All right, guys, that's it for fire and poison. Look for my other 2 videos tonight on all the other ones because there's some really cool stuff coming out. I can't wait to pick her up. And this guy looked massive in PvP, right? With everything he could do. This guy might be an exclusive, like harder to summon than others. They did say there are some exclusive heroes. They don't have exclusive artifacts, like their own artifact, but their drop rate is much lower. And he seems so strong that this might be the case for him. Let me know your favorite hero down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't for all the new stuff that's coming out. We got a lot of videos to make. I will see you all in a video soon.